We might end up back. We're probably gonna end up back there soon.
Evan Mobley and Dennis Schroeder, they earned it, right? A late charge for Schroeder, and they could push the Raptors to the brink of extinction. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. All right, 4 minutes left in the first quarter. James Harden shoots, can't get it there, but Mobley there for cleaning it up.
I love the call. He answered the call. Him and Jared Allen. Jared Allen's blocking shots. Evan Mobley knocking down threes, playing defense, pushing the break.
Unfortunately,
slow Euro.
Injuries have been a part of this postseason. And Brandon Ingram, you see him just tweak his heel there. He left. He didn't return to the game. Cookies here for Jacoby Walters going coast to coast.
Ooh, body game.
That was such a lazy pass, though.
Body game.
The Raptors not going away. A minute into the fourth quarter, Jalen Tyson gets it in the corner.
Oh.
Knocks down the three.
Tough bucket.
Dennis Schroeder passes to Mobley, same corner.
Yeah.
The crowd is loving it.
Don't game plan for that. You don't game plan for Evan Mobley threes.
And then midway through the fourth quarter, Dennis Schroeder knocks down the three.
Not go under the screen.
He said something, I'm not going to say what he said, but he spoke at length, probably for about 2 or 3 minutes at halftime, just about what he saw and what we could have done better as a group. And then after the game, we were like, damn, I guess you were just talking to yourself.
Well, yeah, because he took over. So he gives a speech at halftime, and Schroeder helps power Cleveland to take a 3-2 series lead in this game. So Cleveland, they looked shaky at times early on, but they ended the game on a little Cavaliers to take a 3-2 series lead. Cleveland outscored Toronto 32-18 in the final 14 minutes of that game, knocked down nearly as many threes as the Raptors had field goals during that run. And Cleveland notched their first playoff win when trailing by entering the fourth quarter since Game 1 of the conference finals against the Raptors. That was 2018. So, Perk, you were chilling on the bench at that point?
Yeah. I was
all right.
averaging 1,500 claps.
1,500 claps a game.
I was doing a great job. I was a star in my role.
And that is very important. Can you be a star in your role here and tell me what your key takeaway is from this Game 5? You're always a star in your role here.
The big man, Malika.
Okay.
I got to go with Evan Mobley. He is the most important player on this squad.
And you've been asking for it.
And look, he had that balance last night of being a big man with guard skills. And I love when he's attacking downhill with authority. We saw that. And here's a few examples right here. Not doing too much, hanging out around the dunker spot, having 2 feet in the paint, being ready to catch and finish, not hanging out in the perimeter. And then all of a sudden what you see is we're watching one of the most skilled bigs in the game. And what can he do best? What can he do also, DJ and Malika? He can stretch the floor. 3 big 3-point shots in the fourth quarter that were huge. He was 3 for 3 from the field, and they needed every single one of them. He just have to be consistent night in and night out.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Schroeder, shout out to Evan Mobley, had big fourth quarters.
Yeah, huge.
But Cleveland is in trouble.
What you mean?
If you're relying on Evan Mobley
in this series,
this is going 7. And if you let those young boys, which they do right now, they have a lot of confidence. CMB didn't play his best game, but Jacoby Walters came out to play. He's finally out that cold slump. I don't know what Scotty Barnes' injury is. B.I. has a heel thing.
It's a thigh bruise.
He'll be ready.
He's going to be ready. Lights, camera, action. They're going to be in the city in Toronto. You know the fans are going to get up. So they're going to win that game 6. It's going to 7. But you let them come to that confidence, and you don't see James Harden and Donovan Mitchell in that fourth quarter. Last night, they have a fourth quarter like that again. They could be going home in the first round.
believe I'm with you. It will go 7. I'm looking at big picture. And if you're the Cavs, you walk away from, you got to take the win, but you're not happy about it.
Yeah.
You can't give up 120 points in regulation at the crib. At some point, this team got to have an identity defensively if they're trying to get to where they're trying to go. And we know they're trying to get to the promised land.
Both of you all have this going the distance.
7?
Yeah, I got to go on
7 games, and it starts in the 6 for 6. All right, we have got
live in a winner-go-home Game 5 against the Magic. Last night, 2 former number 1 picks put on a show. Cade Cunningham and Paolo Banchero joined 2 legends. Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson is the only pair of opposing number 1 overall picks with 40 or more points in a playoff game in the modern draft era. Shaq had 44 while AI had 48 points, 2 of which came just before his iconic step over of Tyronn Lue. T. Lue is just not going to live that one down. And it's worth noting this game went to overtime while Cunningham and Banchero did it in regulation. Our 3-time NBA champ Danny Green back with us. And Danny, the Pistons live to see another game, keeping their season alive, thanks in large part to Cade Cunningham carrying the day. What will be critical for the East's top seed to win Game 6?
Jalen Duren. And, I hate to be the guy to kind of keep pouring on, and I know he's hearing it from all sides, but they're going to need him to step up and play like the player he's played all season. He's an all-star, all-NBA caliber player, a double-double machine, and right now in this moment he's letting it get to him, and he hasn't shown that presence like we've seen before. So he's got to step up and be that all-star that they need, give Cade Cunningham some help so his usage rate is not as heavy. Tobias Harris is stepping up and playing well, all those guys, Javonte Green, but it really comes down to Jalen Duren and him being that guy that they expect him to be.
And Danny, looking at the Cavs, they won Game 5 of their tied series with Dennis Schroeder playing the hero, scoring 11 of his 19 points in the fourth to beat the Raptors. What was your biggest takeaway from that game?
The others, man, they stepped up and played great. But also the All-Stars, they're going to need those guys to step up. They weren't as active as I would like to see in the fourth quarter. But Dennis Schroeder balled out. So did Evan Mobley. He knocked down 3 threes, I think, all in the fourth. Nobody expected a game plan for that. So those guys really, answered the call. So did Jared Allen. He blocked some shots and was more aggressive for that group. But I'm a little concerned about whether or not we're going to see, James and Donovan on the road to be able to get through that Toronto Raptors defense, because they're playing really good defense against those two right now as the last 3 games.
Role players so important, especially as you get into the playoffs. But you're our star, Danny. We're going to play a game with you. We're going to play red light, green light. I need your 3 keys for each of tonight's Game 6 matchups, starting with the Celtics and Sixers.
All right, well, Celtics-Sixers. For the Celtics, they got to just find a way to get back to their rhythm. Drive, kick, and shoot. They got to shoot better from the three-point line. That's been the key for them. Live by it, die by it. Everybody talks about it. And that's what their identity's been for the last couple of years. There's a big difference between wins and losses for them with three-point percentage. So if they can get some better uncontested looks, it'll be a better series or better game for them. They can close out.
Yeah, the Celtics need to score. Looking, how about the Hawks and Knicks?
The Knicks, they just got to keep up their defense, right? Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, limit CJ McCollum and company. Make sure that he doesn't get going. Obviously, they're going to need big games from Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jalen Johnson. But if they can limit CJ McCollum and also involve Cat offensively, they should be able to get this done.
What about Timberwolves Nuggets?
Most of the pressure's on Denver. So in order for Minnesota, they're going to have to let Jokic play one-on-one. It's going to be a lot on Rudy Gobert defensively. Obviously, Naz Reid and Julius Randle as well. But they're going to have to try to take on that challenge and limit Denver's offense, because that's the only way that they can beat them. They're not a great defensive team. Jaden McDaniels has called them out, and they're able to attack the rim. So those guys are going to get what they want offensively. But defensively, they have to make him go one-on-one and limit him as much as possible. So it should be a fun one. It's going to be an uphill battle for them, with Ayo Dosunmu being questionable and Anthony Edwards and Dante DiVincenzo being out. But it's something that they can achieve.
All right, you can catch more of Danny on NBA Today at 3 Eastern. Danny, thank you so much.